If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Folks, this is going to totally change the entire world. And we got to be strong in who we are and what we stand for.
Take control of your life. Break the chains and rise. No more feeling powerless. No more shame. Take your power. Break out of the pain. Because it's more than fornication, more than procreation. It's not just self-stimulation. Sex energy is for creation and transformation into a new destination. This is Porn Talk. Porn Talk. Yeah. Change your heart from dark to light. Porn Talk. Yeah. Break free. Take back your power and rise. I said take back your power. I said take back your power. Take back your power and rise. And rise. This is Porn Talk.
Welcome to season 5 of Porn Talk. Can you believe it, William?
When you told me that, I was sincerely surprised.
For this episode, it is porn free in 2023 with ChatGPT season 5. Yes, we made it. So we have back with us the metaphysical master, Sir William of Duffin. He is here. Welcome, sir.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. So, ChatGPT, have you heard about it? Throughout the show, you'll hear me say ChatGPT. That is incorrect. It should be ChatGPT, as in Peter or Paul. That's ChatGPT. Thanks for your understanding.
I just learned of it about half an hour ago.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is
incredible.
It's not even, I don't believe it's even a month old. If you haven't heard about it, it's artificial intelligence. And folks, artificial intelligence is here in a big way. It's here to stay, and it's incredible. And how is this going to affect us? Let's find out, what is ChatGPT. I'm going to ask ChatGPT itself. I've got the chat app. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, what are you? And here is its response. And so, by the way, this has had the most downloads in history so quickly. Like some social media apps that take several years to get millions of followers or visitors and that. And well, ChatGPT in just a couple of days had like 5 million downloads. There's some crazy number just within a couple of days. And so, what is ChatGPT? I asked it, and it says, I am ChatGPT, a large language model trained by OpenAI. I am designed to understand and generate natural language text. I can answer questions, provide information, and generate written content on a variety of topics. And I'm going to ask it, but what does GBT stand for? It says that, and its server is slammed. So GBT is super fast, but because there's so many people, here it comes. GBT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. There's also another one with a tree, because it's a language tree.
Mm-hmm.
It is the name of the modern architecture that is used to train the model. And it's absolutely incredible. I've been using this for my work. It helps me to, like ideas. You can bounce ideas off it.
So basically it's somebody to talk to? Is that what you're saying? Like you just have some idea about something, you talk to the app about it, and it helps you like formulate your ideas.
Yeah, you can have a conversation with it. Now, it does have restraints put on it right now. Like if you wanted to have like some intimate sexual conversation with it, it won't do that.
Oh yeah,
At least not yet.
not yet. Yeah.
And the crazy thing is that right now they fed it a massive amount of data, but it's not even crawling the web yet. So it's not even like downloading from all the sources from the internet yet. And so the joke is, once that does happen, when they do turn it on, so to say, that Skynet will be active from the movie Terminator.
Right.
And that it'll be conscious. And it's freaky. It's crazy. Artificial intelligence is here. So imagine like when this thing is connected to the internet. We're going to be in a brave new world here in just this year, like this year.
So it'll have virtually unlimited input, unlimited resources.
Yes. And just imagine this. So Elon Musk, who you can't see, I have him on my wall here. That one man has changed the entire world. And he's saying that he was thinking the only way you'll be able to compete with AI because it will be much smarter than you.
And faster.
Yeah. So the only way to compete with it would be to be connected to it. Not necessarily connected to ChatGPT, but
to artificial intelligence.
So like his Neuralink.
Yeah.
Neuralink, you literally are you have an implant in your head connected to computers. And he said, that's really going to be the only way you'll be able to compete with it. Because it's going to be a lot smarter than you. It's going to be a lot smarter than you. And, there'll be a technology that will come along that Elon or someone will make where you won't have to drill a hole in your head. You'll just put on a headset. And there was a movie made in the 80s with Christopher Walken called Brainstorm. And it is a cult kind of movie. It's eclectic. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I love the movie. And also Natalie Wood, the late Natalie Wood, that was her last movie before what I believe she was killed, but that's another story. So in the movie Brainstorm, Christopher Walken is a scientist, and he creates this headset you can put on that will record your thoughts, your memories, your everything. And then you can record that and then put that headset on somebody else's head and play it back. And it's exactly as if you're there. And I tell you, that's the direction we're going. Like it's coming. It's coming because they already have things with Neuralink and even before Neuralink where they could, like a blind person that has never seen before, they could put and allow them to see these dots.
I saw
and
this.
So, and what are dots? Dots, what is a screen? This is a bunch of tiny dots.
Yep.
So it's coming, and they'll be able to download it right into your noodle. And so, why are we bringing this up on Porn Talk? What does this have to do with porn? And it's because there is a quote from Alexander Hamilton, one of the founding fathers, who said, "If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything." So with technology, whatever technology comes along the way, that can always be used for good or for bad. And if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what you stand for, you'll fall for anything. And like, for example, I don't know if you know, there's sex robots you can buy now. There you can get one like for 10 grand. It's a sex robot. And imagine the sex robot with artificial intelligence. Like, if you have this beautiful looking
artificial person
right, who you can have a meaningful conversation with. I'm not just talking about, some superficial, a meaningful conversation.
So it's not going to be like a science fiction movie where it's like, oh yeah, baby, you turn me on.
It's not that way at all.
Wow.
I mean, let's ask ChatGPT. Let's see. What's a question you asked? What is the meaning of life? So let's ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT, what is the meaning of life? And how can I lead a more productive life? All right, so it says the meaning of life is a question that has been asked throughout human history, and different people have different perspectives on what it is. Some believe it is to find happiness and fulfillment. Others believe it is to serve a higher power, and still others believe it is to make the world a better place. As for leading a more productive life, there are many different things you can do to achieve this. Some tips include setting clear and achievable goals for yourself, prioritizing your task and focusing on the most important ones, creating a schedule and sticking to it, staying organized, keeping a positive attitude, taking care of your physical and mental health, continuously learning and expanding your knowledge and skills, being open to new opportunities and experiences, surrounding yourself with supportive people. It goes on. Ultimately, the key to leading a productive life is to find what works best for you and to continually strive to improve yourself.
Sounds great.
Like,
it's a little bit generic, but it sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing of it is, like, what people may not realize, like, this, like, if ChatGPT or if artificial intelligence were a seed, the seed is barely even started to sprout. Like, it's barely even out of the seed. Where's this going?
Well, as you were describing that a minute ago, I thought of Total Recall. You could change your memories.
So how would that work? Like,
I don't know, but once that technology, the Neuralink thing, once that actually works efficiently, you'll be able to change your memories. And then that reminds me of I think it was one of the Star Trek movies, the older ones with William Shatner. Spock's brother had this ability to take your pain away.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the crew were doing that. A lot of the crew were letting him take their pain away.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of subplot climaxes into he is talking to Kirk, and Kirk says, "No, that makes me who I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of me."
Mm-hmm.
And if I have a fear about it, that's the fear that artificial intelligence will lead to artificial people. Basically, you will lose your identity because you give it away.
Right. Lose your identity because you give it away. You are interacting with machine, and like with pornography, the opposite of addiction is not sobriety. That's what the 12-step programs will tell you. We say the opposite of addiction is connection. And if you are talking to AI and you're having a meaningful conversation with AI, do you need another person? Are you making a connection?
I think not. Some people could argue that, well, that's a connection, but it's not with a real person. So I see where you're going. The AI makes it easier and easier to isolate yourself.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
And I'm a great example of that. So, I was addicted to porn for many, many years, isolating myself with it, recovering from it. Now I've got this show, Porn Talk. And now what am I using to help me with my business? Since this thing launched, ChatGPT, the past 2 weeks, I've been using it to help me with my business. And it's helpful. Like, it's very helpful. Like, if I need to bounce ideas off, to create titles or content, it gives me ideas. I say, I'm thinking about this, and it'll feedback some other ideas. I mean, it's here. And so instead of me calling up you, for example, and say, hey, William, let me bounce these ideas off you, it's much more quickly. It's much quicker. I just jump on this app, bam, and it gives me an answer in seconds.
So even if you wake up at 3:00 in the morning with this idea, you just can ask the chat.
Yeah,
GPT.
I just put it in there. So my point though is this is barely even started, and I'm asking it for help rather than another human being. Like, where the heck are we going? It's like nuclear power. So nuclear power, you can use it to generate energy for cities, or you can use nuclear power to decimate an entire city or cities. And that's where I see with any technology, Lily, but with this AI in particular, like there's going to be so many incredible, amazing applications that will positively benefit and change the entire world.
Like you mentioned, literally helping blind people see.
Right. On the other hand,
Yes.
there's going to be, I mean, I don't even know. Like, I mean, we're already talking about, I'm isolating myself more just by asking it rather than a human being. So, like, if you're already addicted to porn and isolating yourself, and then you want to ask for help, oh, I'll just ask AI. It's just wow. The implications of this are just mind blowing.
The implications are mind blowing, and the quickness to me is mind blowing. I'm just thinking about, I'm only a few years older than you, even though I look like I'm 20 years older than him.
You look like Santa Claus today.
Yeah,
That beard.
So it was only 40 years ago that you had to go to a library to look something up. You didn't have Google. And now here we are, AI that people had only fantasized about in science fiction movies.
Yeah. And that's a topic. Is Google going to go to the wayside? People are going to start asking AI rather than Google. And Google is already very vigilant now.
Oh, I'm sure.
If you put out content that is created by AI, Google already has technology in place to sense that this is like it's probably keywords, I would guess. If it's using these certain words, it will flag you. So if Google discovers like your content on your website is mostly AI, they nick, I don't know if they shut you down or what they do, but it's a big negative. But yeah, it's incredible. So you have this sex bot, we'll say, that with artificial intelligence, that you can have a meaningful conversation with.
Right. It has a somewhat of a personality.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, speaking of personality, let's ask ChatGPT. I want these answers not just to come from some type of, sterile answer. I want it to have some personality. So I want it to answer as if it's a pirate. And what's a question we could ask about porn?
Tell me about sex addiction in the voice of a pirate.
Okay. Tell me about sex addiction or overcoming sex addiction or porn addiction, but in the voice of a pirate. It's Are ye be asking about a touchy subject? Me hearties, sex addiction or porn addiction, as ye call it, be a serious matter and taking a toll on a person's life. It be a uncomfortable urge to engage in sexual activity, even when it be causing negative consequences. Overcoming such addiction be not an easy feat, but it be possible with determination and the right help. A first step to be admit to yourself and others that ye have a problem, and to seek out professional assistance. I mean,
wow.
Personality.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to
program personality.
Yeah. Do you remember in Total Recall, and we were dating ourselves here, the movie Total Recall was with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 90s, I believe. And there's a scene where they're going to download a vacation into his brain.
Yeah.
And so they ask him what type of woman he wants. And he has choices, and he picks sleazy. Like there was different personalities he could choose for the woman, and he wanted sleazy. And so my point is like, oh, what personality do I want my AI to have? Like, it's science fiction of the future, but it's here right now.
I remember when I saw the first iPad, I said Star Trek is real.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to go.
It won't be long. We'll be saying, computer, tea, Earl Grey.
That is Captain Jean-Luc Picard because he
Yeah.
liked the Earl Grey.
Yeah.
So porn, sex addiction, artificial intelligence. If you, as Alexander Hamilton said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. When I work with clients, one of the huge things that we work on is identity change. So instead of looking at yourself in the mirror and calling yourself a sex or porn addict, or going to a 12-step meeting and say, "Hi, my name is Eric. I'm a sexaholic and I'm powerless over porn. And it's been 2 days since my last slip." Instead of that, what if you looked at yourself in the mirror and said, "I am moving through this challenge in my life. I'm moving through this sex addiction in my life, but I am powerful Eric, or I'm powerful Steve, or I'm powerful William, or whatever you want to call yourself. And maybe you've been struggling with this challenge your entire life, but you don't have to identify with the addiction. And so if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So when I work with a client, I have them define this powerful part of themselves. And in fact, it's kind of like I have them make up like a superhero persona type of thing. Like this part of yourself, what do you believe in? What do you stand for? What are your values? What's your identity? What's your beliefs? And you come up with who that person is. And then, of course, you want to live your life as that person. And because if you know who you are and you know that you don't have sex with, that this person that you want to be doesn't have sex with a robot, then, and if you want to do that, that's fine. I'm just saying, yeah, different strokes for different folks. But if you're here, I would imagine you're probably struggling with sex and porn addiction. And so if you know your values, if you know your beliefs, you can say no easily. Sir William, what do you think about artificial intelligence and porn, sex robots? Like, what do you think about all this? Like, where are we going? Is this good? Is this not good? Is it, I mean,
well, I mean, we already mentioned the benefits of the technology are obvious. Like you mentioned, with that Neuralink helping a blind person see, literally.
Well, and being able to connect to the whole World Wide Web from your brain. I mean, it's incredible. But
my concern is the same as with a lot of other things in the world. And I would boil it down to, it's just another distraction.
Perfect word. Distraction. That is a great word. Distraction. William, when you're at home and you've got something that requires your brain power to work on, and you have this thing next to you, and it keeps, dinging, going off texts, phone calls, notifications. Like, tell me about that for you.
Literally put it on the other side of the room. I do have a child at home. You have smaller children, younger children, but my kid's 16. So he's old enough that he might text me about something important, or my mom or somebody have something important. But, so I hardly ever turn it completely off, but I often do literally set it aside where it's not distracting me.
Yeah. If I need to get some work done, I got to turn this thing off.
Yeah.
Like
for some people, it's true. You just, there is no ignoring it. You have to just turn it off.
I just got to turn it off.
Yeah.
And I was playing with ChatGPT. So listen to this. This is incredible. So I've got a couple of books that I'm working on, and my book Think Big that I co-authored is out. It's an #1 Amazon bestseller, And by the way, if you go to my website and click on Think Big, you can get a free, that's what I said, free digital copy. If you go to the website, you can get that 100% free. Anyway, so I'm working on a couple different books, and one book, I wanted to see what ChatGPT, like, can this thing write books? And the short answer is yes, but the short answer is yes. This thing can write books. You just tell it the premise for your, like if you're writing a story, tell it the premise. So in fact, let's do one right now, William. Let's a super short story. Maybe it's about somebody addicted to porn, overcoming porn, how they overcame porn. Tell me.
How about write a children's book about addiction?
Okay. Write a very short children's story about overcoming addiction to pornography. So let's hear what it says. It just blows my mind. Like when it's creative. Like how can it be creative? All right. So here. All right. Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Timmy. Timmy loved to watch videos on his computer, but he started to notice that he was watching videos that made him feel uncomfortable. He realized that he was addicted to looking at pornography. Timmy felt ashamed and didn't know what to do. He talked to his parents and they helped him find a counselor. The counselor helped Timmy understand why he was looking at these videos and taught him how to avoid them. Timmy also made a plan to keep himself busy by playing sports, doing homework, and spending time with his friends and family. He found that when he kept himself busy, he didn't have time to think about the videos. With time and effort, Timmy was able to overcome his addiction. He felt proud of himself and happy to have his life back. He learned that it's never too late to ask for help and make positive changes in your life. The end. So, like, you obviously take that and you make that into a chapter and make it longer.
But still, that took a few seconds.
It took seconds. Now, here's the crazy thing. Now, we want them to do the same story, except for we want it to have a little more flavor. So, like, I want the story to have an element of the paranormal in there, or scary, like something scary. So, I want to add it in there, or help me. What's an idea? Like you know what I mean? Like the voice, like I said, the pirate before. What could we do here? Tell me a story about an adult that was overcoming porn addiction, but he got wrapped up in the dark world
of the paranormal.
Of the paranormal. But I want it to be told in the style of Stephen King, the writer. Okay. Once upon a time, in a small town nestled in the heart of Maine, there was a man named Jack. Jack had a problem he couldn't shake no matter how hard he tried. He was addicted to pornography, consumed by an overwhelming urge to look at images of a depraved and debased nature. For years, he struggled in silence, ashamed of his weakness and unable to break free from its grip. But one day, something changed. Jack stumbled upon an old, musty book in a local library, a book that spoke of the paranormal and the unseen. Intrigued, he delved deeper, reading of spirits and demons, of ancient rituals and forbidden knowledge. As he immersed himself in the pages of that book, something stirred within him. He began to feel a sense of purpose, a sense that was meant to be more than just a slave to his addiction. He felt a pull towards something greater, something darker. And it goes on. Like, what the heck?
Fantastic.
I know.
Wow.
It's fantastic. Wow. What?
He finds a book.
I mean, it goes on like, what? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Folks, this is going to totally change the entire world. And we got to be strong in who we are and what we stand for. Because there's going to be stuff that we haven't even conceived of that this is going to be used for. And a lot of it's going to be fantastic, and a lot of it's going to be good, and a lot of it's not going to be. I wish I could remember. There's a name of a movie about it was in the 50s. The movie came out, and it was about this town, and they did a remake of it in like the 90s or 2000s. This town was all these happy guys lived in this town, these happy families, and their wives are all just stunningly beautiful. Every single one, they're beautiful, gorgeous, and just so well mannered, and they loved it. They did everything for their husbands. So it turned out that the women were all robots. So, like,
Mm-hmm. And that was just the old idea of robots.
yeah,
With their high-tech robots.
yeah. So where are we going?
Well, who knows? And it's nothing like, I think I can speak for you and say, it's not that we want people to be scared. I mean, it's powerful, Eric. We want people to be empowered.
Right.
So like you were just saying a minute ago, it's so important to know who you are, to have some kind of, not some kind of, a strong, well-established sense of self, self-esteem, purpose, etc.
Yeah. And that strong self-esteem and knowing who you are, like this story that I had this creating about the paranormal and the porn, that's actually my story. And eventually I'm going to have it come out. It's coming out about the porn is one thing, but coming out with this paranormal thing that happened to me is a whole other thing that I'm not ready to divulge yet. But this story that it was making up is kind of my story. And actually that's how we met. Yeah, that's how William.
It is.
William is a spiritualist minister. He is a medium. He's psychic, and he was one that helped me. But I'm getting off
Would it be
topic
fair
here.
to say I helped you understand what was happening?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. A strong. It's very helpful to have a strong sense of self, because going in to 2023, here we are, just the beginning of 2023, and if you don't know who you are, if you don't know who your identity, your values, your beliefs, it may be challenging. So, William, what would be some things that would be helpful? If somebody's listening to this now going, okay, so there's this AI thing, and it's going to be really good, and it's going to be really challenging at the same time.
Tempting.
I don't have the money for a sex robot. They're like 10 grand or something like that. I don't have money for the sex robot, and I don't want a sex robot. But like, what can I do within myself to prepare myself for this? What can I do to be a better person?
I'm going to use a word you said. What's the antidote to addiction? Connection. Get out of the friggin' house. Be with people. Invite people over. Connect. Consciously connect with people. And let's say, well, I have this list of excuses why I can't leave the house, blah, 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 blah. Or maybe you have really good reasons. I am wheelchair bound, whatever. Well, then do it in whatever way you can. I do it in meditations. One of the main meditations I do, it's based in a Buddhist meditation where you literally, connect with other people. Well, literally, metaphysically connect with other people. Connection. And now let's go down another road. Another thing I hear a lot. Well, that sounds great, but I don't like people. They're freaking morons. People have their own words, but they don't like people, or they're afraid of what might happen. What if I'm rejected? What if this? What if that? What if this? What if that? And I'll say, well, you got to do it. Maybe there's another way, but my way is I have to do it. I have to get out of myself, release that fear, connect. Because after I get past that fear, I feel good. I feel good when I connect with people.
Yes.
Eric said, well, if you're not in the time frame or mood to come over, blah, blah, blah. We had to put this off for a week because I was ill. And he said, we could do it over Zoom. I said, I want to come over. He goes, well, I want you to come over. I said, okay, I'm coming over. I mean, I don't think Eric and I are particularly unique. I think that we have a good idea of who each of us are independently. We like connecting with people. Besides, he's born in a sign of Leo. He's on stage all the time. But other than that, I think that's that. If you said boil it down to one basic thing, I would say connection.
I couldn't agree more. Connection. Get out from a lot of people now after Coconuts 18 happened. After that, yes, I still call it that. I don't want to give it any power. After Coconuts 18 happened, or when that happened, a lot of people started working from home. And that was a great outcome, I got to say. There's always good that, that's a great example. Even from like the worst things, great things can come. A lot of people are able to now work from home. And with that comes good things and bad things as well. They can be I'm able to go pick up my boy from the bus stop. And if I had a 9-to-5 job away, I couldn't do that. But I work from home, have a studio in my home, and I'm able to go pick up my boy from the bus stop. So that's really good. But the bad thing is, I'm in front of a computer all day. All my clients I see over Zoom. There is one that I did fly out to see, and a service that I am offering now as well. But that's the exception. Most of the time I'm in front of the computer. So I couldn't agree with you more. Get out and connect with human beings, connect with people, get outside and connect with people. That is one of the cures for this. If you are addicted to porn, connect with live, breathing human beings. And speaking of connecting with human beings, Sir William, how would someone connect with you? They're like, man, that's Sir William and Duffin. He is just it. I need to talk to Sir William. How do they reach out to you?
Easiest way is my phone number. 3 good old-fashioned call or text. I know, right?
What?
314-403-4744. My call literally anytime. I know how to silence my phone.
Wow.
Or text.
An actual phone call. Wow.
I'm on Facebook, Happy Medium Will. And my email is william@mediumwill.com.
And just how great William is, I run stuff by him all the time. And I like to say to William, I say, these other intuitives, they ain't got nothing on Duffin. They ain't got nothing on Duffin.
I really appreciate that. I know you're saying it kind of tongue in cheek. I do appreciate that. And I have worked hard at honing my skill. But like Eric, my focus is on empowering you. My focus is not just on telling you how to live your life. My absolute top priority is empowering you.
You have the power.
I got the power.
I can't help but think of, I know this is the dark side, but I'm a big Star Wars fan, and my boy was watching Return of the Jedi the other day. And I don't know if this is Return of the Jedi, but there's that scene where Luke is he's in that giant, tube thing way up high, and Vader's there, and he had just cut off Luke's hand, and you don't know the power of the dark side. But we're not talking about the dark side here. Sir William works with the light. Just remember, there's peace and serenity in the light. You know what movie is that from? Poltergeist.
Oh,
The little lady.
yeah, that's right.
There's peace and serenity in the light. So anyway, William, thanks for being here today. Porn free in 2023 with ChatGPT. And any final words, William, before we wrap up here?
If I can borrow somebody else's words, it would be the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. And that's Don Miguel Ruiz. Be impeccable with your word is the first agreement. And notice he doesn't say, like, tell the truth when you're interrogated. He says, be impeccable with your word. Every utterance should be the highest truth you can conjure at any given time. And I think if you just do that one, if you even know the other 3 agreements, just do that one and it'll change the way you think, change the way you see yourself, it'll change your life.
Be impeccable with your word. Love it. And I will close with my favorite quote. I want to use a different one today. This one. Remember, Zig Ziglar, you are what you are and where you are because of what has gone into your mind. You can change what you are and you can change where you are by changing what goes into your beautiful, magnificent mind.
Thanks for listening. If you're struggling with porn or sex addiction, reach out to Eric at powerfuleric.com.